We're just a few days from the 2025 NFL draft. That means it's time for the final 2025 mock draft. My 7-rounder. I made every pick, 257 of them, 32 teams, and I've got their final mock drafts. We are to the New Orleans Saints. Saints fans, I'm going to wager there's a bunch of you that are not going to love the first pick that I say here, but I'm telling you, you're hot on this kid. He may not be your pick, but you are hot on this kid. Number 9 is Mykel Williams, edge rusher out of Georgia. I don't love this kid as an edge. I think he is one of the safest prospects I've ever seen in that he's going to hold up well against the run. I just didn't see it consistently enough against the pass. Also, I heard, hey, he's going to be a standing edge. Then why did he never do it? Never did it at Georgia. But Kirby Smart, one of the best defensive coaches in the country, couldn't get it out of him, but somebody else is going to. I struggle to believe that. But the athletic profile is off the charts. If you can get that extra layer out of him, he may end up being the best pass rusher in this class because he is not of this earth. And unlike Jalen Walker, he's got the body frame to go with it. Jalen Walker, his running mate at Georgia, is a shorter guy that played off-ball linebacker. Mykel Williams, I know, is going to play on the edge. Question is he going to do it with his hand in the dirt, or is he going to do it standing up? Maybe a team stands him up and unlocks that potential. I know there are a lot of teams in the top 20 that really like him. The Saints have been the one in the last 3 weeks that have gotten the loudest, the fastest. And New Orleans had been hard to figure out. I know they're not in on Shedeur Sanders. Adam Schefter put that out either yesterday or the day before yesterday. They don't like Shedeur. I said that a month ago. The Derek Carr thing was not news to them. They knew it was possible that he was going to have surgery and that 2025 might not happen. They also knew we got to get the cap ledger fixed. And so I think New Orleans is going to roll with Spencer Rattler. I think there is a quarterback in this class they like that I'm going to get to in a few minutes. But at 9, I go Mykel Williams, edge rusher out of Georgia. It's a great time to point out this is not what I would do. This is what I think is going to happen. Pick number 40, Elic Ayomanor, the kid from Canada that played at Stanford. It still blows my mind when I did the math on this that Elic Ayomanor has only played 31 competitive games of football in his entire life. Had a lot of injury issues in high school. Came to America, played in high school in New Jersey, got hurt both years in high school. Stanford was his dream school. He wound up out there, had a huge game. Set Stanford record for receiving yards in a game against Travis Hunter. And that tape is enough to me to look at him and go, this kid's a top 50 pick in this class. Because he's still figuring out how to play the position. He's got subtle nuance that I don't see out of a lot of receivers, and he hadn't been playing it that long. I think this kid can be a star. And the more you watch him, Elic Ayomanor is like the opposite of Little Caesars Pizza. The more you have Little Caesars, the more you go, I'm not real sure that this is food, but damn, it tastes good. And then you kind of feel like shit. Elic Ayomanor, the more tape you watch, you just like it better and better and better and better and better until you get to a point where you go, this is probably the best X receiver in this class. And I'm not including Travis Hunter because he plays both ways. In terms of just natural X receiver, I think he might be the best one in the class. And he has crazy high upside. And with the untenable situation with Chris Olave, I think you got to address a pass catcher here. You get Elic Ayomanor at 240. Third round, got 2 picks. Start with Tyleik Williams, the defensive tackle, nose tackle, really, out of Ohio State. I feel like New Orleans is going through a transition into a 3-4 because that is what Brandon Staley wants to play. Tyleik Williams can play in a 4-man front. He can also, I think, be a great nose tackle in a 3-man front. Giant, house of a human, strong as an ox, really good against the run. I don't know that he's ever going to give you production as a pass rusher, but he can get in the way. I don't see him like a Vita Vea that in time is going to become a better pass rusher. He's always going to be the run-stuffing nose, and maybe over time he's not irrelevant against the pass. That's about the best I can say there. But he is the best run stuffer in this class. With Mykel Williams and Tyleik Williams, you're going to be able to stop the run. Now you got to focus on the pass, and this being a blip year gives you a year to address all those things. Second, third round pick, Quinn Ewers, quarterback out of Texas. I know New Orleans really likes him. The arm talent is out of this world. He may be the most talented passer in this class. The problem is his feet are terrible, and his feet get really happy under pressure. He needs time. He also needs a really good quarterback's coach, like Kellen Moore, to develop him and get the best out of him. If you told me there was a guy that was going to go outside of the top 50 among quarterbacks that actually turned into an NFL starter, I bet anything you want it's Quinn Ewers. Because I believe Shuck, Dart, Milroe, Shador, and Cam Ward are all five going in the top 50. You get past those five, it's a drop off a cliff. Ewers has the talent to be really good. It's just a question of can you put the time in and can you get it out of him? I put him here with Kellen Moore, and I know for a fact Kellen Moore really likes him. Quinn Ewers, I believe, will either be a Saint or a Raider when we get to the end of the 2025 NFL Draft. Go into the fourth round, and we start with Emory Jones from LSU. New Orleans is strangely, they very rarely ever add LSU players, but Emory Jones is one of those guys that I think is such a good guard. He's got a great base. Originally, I thought he could play some tackle too, and then I saw him up close and personal at the Senior Bowl, and now I think he's just a really mean streak guard that's really strong anchor. I think he can play pretty early on. You get him there at 112 in the fourth round. Mello Dotson at 131 in the fourth round. I love him in man. I think he's got some high-level man tape. And when you look at what New Orleans has right now, I need to get Alontae Taylor back into the slot permanently because that's where his future is at in this league. And you've got Kool-Aid McKinstry and Mello Dotson that can play on the outside. I think that's a secondary that you can develop over time. It's very, very young. Sixth round, Holland Pierce, the gigantic offensive tackle from Rutgers. Kid was a walk-on at Rutgers, came in at 470 pounds, got all the way down to 342, I believe is what he weighed in at the combine. And now he looks like a professional bodybuilder. He's just a house. He is a little bit raw, and you're going to have to teach him more technique as opposed to just winning with brute strength and size, which is a lot of what he did at Rutgers. Seventh round, I tend to go undrafted guys that I have that I think teams are really connected to. And we go Joseph Vaughn, linebacker out of UCLA, and D'Artagnan Tinsley, guard out of Cincinnati, both guys that New Orleans has been really hot on in the process. You tend to get the higher-end guys that get into the seventh round and just say, don't draft me, I want to pick my own team. So that's how I do the seventh round. Those are just names to really keep an eye on with the New Orleans Saints. They both had undraftable grades to me. D'Artagnan Tinsley was close, though. I think there were only 4 guards between him and a draftable grade when my final grades were done. Speaking of my final grades, you can find them in the NFLDraft.net draft guide, which will be out late Tuesday night on the website. Top 100 player profiles, blurb on every player that I had either a draftable grade or a high priority undrafted free agent grade on. Have all the mock drafts, all the team needs, all of my rankings, my big board sectioned off by round. So my big board, the way it would be in an NFL war room, is also in the draft guide. You can find that at NFLDraft.net, and that will be late Tuesday night. I am Jeremy Green of ESPN Radio Asheville. Click that subscribe button so you can see us live for every day of the 2025 NFL Draft. We'll be talking Saints. We'll be talking every team in the league and every player that gets selected, and we'll be doing it live right here in the Sportsocracy. This has been the last 7-round mock draft of the 2025 NFL season for the New Orleans Saints.